What do you think the chances are that you and or Donald Trump are in prison a year or two from now?
Well, I I'll tell you, if I thought I was going to prison, I would probably be on the beach somewhere, but relaxing.
Anything else we need to address?
Judge, I think you missed a sentencing on count six.
Oh, I'm sorry. Count 6 is criminal impersonation. That's also consecutive. That's 15 months to the Department of Corrections.
And the cost
So it's 8.5 years total, plus the 6.
This lady right here, Republican, felon, sentenced to 9 years behind bars. Another Trump supporter that will not be voting because they do stupid stuff like commit felonies for a felon. And what's so hilarious is so many people have done dumb stuff for Trump, and he's still out and free and doing what they want, what he wants. And these people are facing actual consequences. And I love it. The whole party of law and order, but they support a felon and they commit felonies for this person who has no integrity. And it is freaking hilarious. So many of these people have lost their family, finances, and freedom for a felon. And it makes me so happy. So happy. I'm so glad that this woman is going to be facing 9 years behind bars. Now for the story, Tina Peters is headed to prison. The former Mesa County clerk was sentenced to 9 years of incarceration, most of which will be served in Colorado Department of Corrections. Peters' attorneys indicated they plan to appeal. Hopefully she just will not be able to vote for, the foreseeable future. All right. The 21st Judicial District Judge Matthew Barrett preceded his sentence with a blistering critique of her actions and attitude, calling Peters an attention-seeking former official who only thinks about herself. You are no hero. You are a charlatan who used and is still using your prior position in office to peddle snake oil that's been proven to be junk time and time again. Barrett handed down the sentence in front of a packed courtroom that included supporters of Peters, several uniformed sheriff's deputies, and local elected officials. An overflow crowd gathered just outside the courtroom, streaming the proceedings on their phones from feet away. In August, Peters was found guilty by a jury of Mesa County residents on 7 counts, including 4 felonies, after she helped facilitate unauthorized access to county voting equipment that she was supposed to safeguard in search of voter fraud. Okay. Her supporters have never shown that the machines were involved in any sort of election manipulation. These GOP people keep talking about protecting the vote and securing the vote and, election fraud from the Democrats, when these MFers are the ones out here committing voter manipulation. They are out here committing crimes to try to subvert the will of the people. During Thursday's hearing, the prosecution argued that Peters should face the maximum penalty for most, if not all, of the charges. I don't think anybody in this room would make a straight-faced argument that Mrs. Peters has demonstrated any respect for the law. That's the 21st Judicial District Attorney Dan Rubenstein. He noted that she continues to argue she never did anything wrong. She's unrepentant. She deserves jail. She deserves it. And it makes me so happy. It literally makes my heart go pitter patter that people like this can actually face some jail time. And they deserve it because they come gung ho at the others that they want to denigrate. So it makes me happy. It's so satisfying that these people are actually facing some consequences of their actions. Okay, Miss Peters has made this community a joke. She's made respecting law enforcement a joke, made respecting court orders a joke. She's not accepted any responsibility and considers this a badge of honor, said Rubenstein. Ahead of sentencing, Peters asked for probation. She says she recognized the jury's decision to find her guilty on most of the counts, but that the jury wasn't allowed to hear other evidence she wanted to present. That evidence was largely tied to conspiracies about the county's Dominion voting machines, which were ruled inadmissible. I'm not a criminal, and I don't deserve to go into a prison where other people have committed heinous crimes, Peters told the judge tearfully. She showed the pictures of her deceased husband and her son, a Navy SEAL who died in the line of duty. She asked for probation. No, absolutely not. No more tears from no more. No, absolutely not. She asked for probation in part to keep visiting her 95-year-old mother living in Virginia. I'm remorseful. Yes, sir, I really am. I never expected that just doing an image, which was completely legal before and after the trust build, would have landed me here. I thought I was going to come out quietly. Oh, but Barrett said his sentence was not just about punishment and the acceptance of responsibility, but also deterrence, a stiff sentence. Barrett said would ensure other elected officials respect the responsibilities of their office. I'm convinced you would do it all over again if you could. You're as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen. Impact statements present dueling views of Peters. The prosecution and defense were each given an hour to make their case ahead of Barrett's sentencing decision. Mesa County Commissioner Cody Davis said the estimated cost of Peters' actions to Mesa County taxpayers was $1.4 million. That includes Peters' salary while she was barred from the elections office, as well as numerous recounts the county paid for to prove their elections were accurate. While Davis explained the efforts to convince the public that Peters' claims were untrue, Barrett interjected to ask what the hand count and other recounts showed. I want to know, what was the difference? They were identical, Davis said, of the votes, noting that a hand count as well as a tabulation by a different voting machine confirmed that the election tallies were accurate. No material difference. No material difference whatsoever, Barrett echoed. Davis also said Peters' damage to the county went beyond the budget to its broader reputation. People from across Colorado and other states now associate Mesa County not with our natural beauty or agriculture, but with the infamous actions of Miss Peters. Her behavior has made this county a national laughingstock, overshadowing our accomplishments and our values, Davis concluded. But at least she is going to jail. At least some of these people have been facing actual consequences. And it's really wonderful to see these people who would typically, get a slap on the wrist. And y'all know what I'm trying to say without me actually saying it. Because the darker hued people would go to jail for less. That woman that accidentally voted in Texas because she thought that she was registered to vote or could register to vote got 5 years in prison, and she really thought that she was actually voting. These people they talk about law and order. They talk about voter integrity. They really need to face some consequences where it comes to cheating. And I hope so many of them lose their families, freedom, and finances because they deserve it, especially with their felons. And I hope that there are no amount of tears, and y'all know the kind of tears I'm talking about, that will wipe the slate clean and allow them to go home. She deserves to lose her vote for the foreseeable future. And I hope that so many of these people that did stupid stuff for Donald Trump face the exact same thing. They deserve it. Y'all weigh in. Let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.